Magic. Well, you do believe your eyes, don't you? And our cameras do not lie, really. They're seeing what you see without the slightest hint of technological trickery, sidearm snookery, hanky-panky, or Rane Gazoo. Magic. It's has an innocence that appeals to me. It's a return to childhood. It's like playing with toys. It's pure play. And sometimes it can be a little more than that. It can have a kind of second-rate poetry that I find attractive. Great magic, you know. There's a moment when you suspend disbelief and it becomes a very good kind of theater. We actors pretend to be modest, you know? But no magician is modest. Every magician is the greatest magician in the world. Nobody is completely grown up, and no work of art. God, what a terrible thing have I said. No movie. No movie is made by a complete adult, you know. First of all, I don't know any complete adults in civilian life, so how could they have infiltrated movies, you know? It's unthinkable, seems to me.
Listen, I was preparing for the show, you know?
Yeah.
And I hired my writer, Gags Beasley.
Not Gags Beasley.
Gags Beasley.
Oh,
the
dear.
ace comedy writer for 57 years in this business. He has given me the A material for the Orson Welles show.
He is the cheapest cheapest comedy writer that there's going.
Are you kidding? I'm paying him $1.50 a joke.
$1.50 a joke?
$1.50, yes. You called that cheap?
You should pay him by the laugh.
Well, he could never get paid then.
That's right.
I feel it's my moral obligation to censor all the sick, perverted ideas on that disgusting program. How do you do, Mr. Wells? And I must say, I am shocked at you.
Why?
Having this low comedy from this bear and this frog who allows it to happen. Having this on your show, I'm absolutely shocked, a man of your stature.
No, I like this form of television because it's about people. That's my favorite subject. And it belongs uniquely to the tube. A talk show wouldn't work. It simply couldn't happen on a movie screen or a stage. And for me, that makes it irresistible. Television is the one theater I've never really worked in. All right, a pause for some commercial messages. We'll be right back. Well, it's true I have several professions. I write and direct and act in motion pictures and plays. I also do magic. We say the magic word.
Nika.
And here's something I always enjoy. Nika whiskey. It's easy to enjoy.
Test shots for a commercial for Japanese whiskey. Wells sold his voice, his face, his myth, or simply himself. It was part of his financing strategy, but the public often saw it as a final admission of failure.
He considered it as a show business. He was not cynical. He rewrote the text, tried to do his best. He was very professional in everything he did.
Working so he could work on his own was the price of independence, or as he says, his own particular contrariety. That remained unchanged in those final years in Hollywood. A stone's throw from the Dream Factory, he and Oja devised a new project, The Dreamers, based on 2 novellas by his favorite author, Tanya Blixen.
Isak Dinesen was a Dane who wrote under that name. And I've been in love with her since I opened her first book. In life, she was the Baroness Blixen, and to her close friends, she was Tanya. One day, I took a plane to Copenhagen to visit her. She was living then in the same old house where she was born, where she died. I had friends who knew her well and who would drive me there next morning. I spent a sleepless night, and at daybreak, I took the first plane out of Denmark. What could a casual, an uninvited visitor have presumed to offer except his stammered thanks? The visitor would be a bore, and the lover was too humble and too proud for that.
Of course, he never met her, but he loved her talent. He was absolutely, as he would say, innamorato of this woman. The moment the script was finished, Orson started with the production again with his own money. Our house near Hollywood Boulevard was transformed into a 19th century villa in Milan. We were working in a big secrecy because we knew that under these conditions, shooting could maybe go on for years, and he was afraid to be blamed again for not finishing the film in time.
This was the first thing Pellegrina ever wished for, a little white villa near Milan. It was her first possession. This house will always be here, awaiting the return of Pellegrina. Pellegrina says, before that happens, weeds will break through that piano. In any case, you'll never hear me speak that name again.
You'll never hear her speak to you again.
More energy.
You'll never hear her speak to you again.
More on speak. Slower.
Okay. You'll never hear her speak to you again.
You're entering a convent.
You'll never hear her speak to you again.
That's good. Ah, I can start away. Now stop and laugh. She laughs. Behold, the miracle. She laughs. Take me along with you, and soon we shall see more of them. It is true, then.
Yes.
Alone, like this, and in the dead of night.
Pellegrina's dead. Even the servants think so. I had no chance to say goodbye. Will you do that for me?
It is struck midnight.
To dawn of a new day, at dawn, Luigi will be working in the garden here. Please don't forget, Luigi.
I will say goodbye for you. I do not ask where you are bound for.
Many places.
Little lioness, you will need money.
I will earn my money, whoever I will be. Marcus, I will be many persons.
Let this go with you, little lioness. I should like you to be easy. This ring will carry you left or right in all of your directions.
Left or right, Marcus, but never home again.
Not ever.
Here's something I think I'd like you to see. You see, Orson did everything himself. He designed the sets. This was to be for the monastery, for the dreamers, for the scene when Pellegrina dies.
So the place where Orson was to make this monologue?
Yes, actually, we shot that monologue in our house. But for the white shots, he was planning to do a real monastery. I mean, real monastery. Fake monastery, but built in a normal grandeur, let's say.
Pellegrina Leone, played by Oja Kodar, ultimately fails in her dream to live several lives at once. Wells himself played Marcus, who recollects her after her death.
The truth. Now that you've cornered her, killed her, you want the truth. Pellegrina, Leone, the prima donna assoluta, had in her life two great devouring passions. And what was the first of these? It was for Pellegrina. She was a devil to the other women in the opera. It was a terrible and jealous love. And this other passion, it was not for me, young gentleman. No, I was, for the first half of my life, just such an unhappy young man as you are. I was rich and traveled much. I kept my own corps de ballet to perform before me and my friends, or before me alone. I had 30 young girls who used to dance before me naked. And I was bored to death, young gentleman. I might well have died of boredom had I not happened to hear a small theater stage in Venice the voice of Pellegrina Leone. And then I understood. I understood the meaning of heaven and earth, and the stars of life and death and eternity. She took you out into a rose garden filled with nightingales, and then lifted you up with her, higher than the moon.
The Dreamers itself remained a dream, a hazy vision of which only a few scenes were shot, and which seemed to sum things up for Wells in the last words of the script. There are only two questions an intelligent person can ask himself. What did God mean by creating the world, and what do I do next?